Okay, guys. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. I am your co-host, Greg McDaniel. Matt Johnson, the Johnson face, the Big Johnson. He's not going to be able to make it today because his intranet has decided to take the gigantic, you-know-what, SHIT. And so he's not going to be able to join us. I'm totally bummed out. But we have an incredible guest. She's a repeat offender coming back onto our show. We have Miss Gayle Zientek, and she is, you guys know her as Gail or the Send Out Card Queen. I know her as hashtag BFF. And we are going to be going over a lot of cool stuff today. We're going to be going over why multiple streams of income are going to be incredibly important for 2019. I know a lot of us, we're always looking for that side hustle. We're always looking to make that dollar, chase that paper. And so Gail is a hustler and a grinder, and she's going to come out. She's going to show us what she's doing, how she's making that happen in her own life. So, Gail, my dear friend, welcome back to the show. Introduce yourself.
Well, hashtag BFF. When I first heard of you and knew of you, I didn't like you, and that's what's so fun about our story is because I saw these guys doing like live stuff on Facebook, and I'm like, yeah. And when Hank said, "Hey, Greg's coming to the retreat," and I was like, "Greg who?" And he's like, "McDaniel." And I was like, "Oh, I don't care for much for that guy." But you know what? I met you. I picked you up. He had me pick you up from the airport. We spent like 45 minutes driving to the retreat home, and we sat next to each other the whole 2 days. And I have an utmost respect for you. We are now hashtag BFFs, and
Yeah.
And I'm a realtor. My husband and I are a husband and wife team. Been selling homes since 2014, and a lot of other stuff along the way. So I'm excited to talk about today. Multiple streams of income. I think it's kind of needed in today's world.
Yeah, it really, really is, especially as the technology is evolving, how business is changing, how you can go work at a Starbucks just as effectively, if not more effectively, than working in an office. Actually, like yesterday, I was doing some show prep for my radio show. Instead of doing it here in the house, I decided to get out of the house, and I went down to a local coffee shop, and I sat there. And, one thing came to another, and I ran into a gal named Deb, who I used to work in the office, my old brokerage with. She and I chatted for 30 minutes. She's going to call me later next week or whenever, and we're going to talk about EXP, about her and her friend joining EXP, all from going to a coffee shop. So that's part of the side hustle of this. But you, Gail, you are an exception. I mean, not a lot of people think the way you think. And that's what I really enjoy about you a lot, because you're not the typical person who just takes life as it comes. You grab it by the horns. You're like, okay, well, if it's this, then I want to change it to that. How am I going to get there? And we were coming up with the title for the show today. And what was the name of the title you wanted to give it?
Pick your chain, find your lane.
Pick your chain, find your lane. I'm like, I know what you're saying. Even I'm confused on this. But this is one of the things she's going to go over with us today, guys, because those two, that terminology should be something that you write down, because it's going to become very important in 2019. What is that, a necklace?
So I'm holding up a necklace, and can I share the significance of this?
Yeah, of course.
My friend just launched her new jewelry venture, and she invited me to a party, and I thought, in my head, I go, okay, you can go to these parties and spend way too much money on more jewelry. So I said, I want to find something that's meaningful. And I've been thinking about this chain, and I'm holding up this piece of paper. See the chain on there?
Yes, I do. On the left-hand side.
I drew that chain on there because, Send Out Cards is my chain. So I wanted something that represented a chain. So you can see it's a chain link. And here's the cool thing is, when I picked it up, I go, okay, how many streams of income do I have currently? And I have 6. So
gangsta's what you are.
How many, there's 6 little globes on here. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's my 6 streams of income, my chain. So now I have a piece of jewelry to remind me of my friend's business and what my life's all about.
I love that. So let's dive a little bit deep. Let's start jumping into your chain. Let's start talking about your multiple streams of income, how they are linked together, and kind of, I want a little bit of a backstory so people understand, like, did you just come out of the womb going, oh my God, I'm going to make tons, I'm going to have like all of this, work in harmony, or has this been a work in progress and you've been kind of struggling putting the pieces together like we all do? And then what was it? Because you and I were together last year, actually, was it a year ago almost exactly?
Yeah.
Almost exactly a year ago. And you had this huge aha moment. We're all sitting around, we're learning, and you're like, oh my God, I figured it out. And all of us kind of looked at her like, what is she, Secret of Life? The Fountain of Youth? What did you find? And it was kind of the Fountain of Youth, but you had an aha moment.
I did. And I figured out how I could make $1 million and send out cards.
Whoop, whoop.
And I think that's important, no matter what we're doing. So backstory is, Greg, I'm a baby boomer. My husband and I have been married for 41 years.
Nice.
Oh, no, excuse me, 40 and a half. But we've been together for 41 years. So, we knew each other for 6 months and got married and had 3 kids. So, but we didn't have retirement. We worked like blue collar jobs for 30 years. Mm-hmm. And I was a stay-at-home mom and did childcare in our home for 25 years. And then I got into real estate at the age of 44. And I thought, oh my gosh, we have no retirement. We have no pension. We have no retirement. And so 3 years ago, we hired a financial advisor. Finally, guys, get your stuff, like get your profit and loss, get your stuff together, because it's important to know what your numbers are and where you're at. So, I started to look at, okay, multiple streams of income. So Steve and I have been selling homes for 14 years. That's a stream of income, and it's pretty lucrative. For the last 7 years, we've been at 100% referral business because of send out cards, because of our relationships. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking about here's the 6. We have our real estate sales. We have send out cards. I also do some coaching, so there's income from coaching. We have investments. Mm-hmm. I'm going to run retreats, so that's going to be another form. And EXP, we just gave up our brokerage. Didn't give up our brokerage. I say give up because it made more sense for us to join EXP versus having the responsibility and the liability of running our own company. So. Right. And you've, like, I've listened to you for the last, 6-8 months talking about EXP and like thinking about that. There's an awesome opportunity for us to, help one another be successful, because I'm not going to recruit people to EXP. I'm the attraction girl. I'm going to just like people that I know that are in my sphere want to have a conversation, then reach out to me and let's have a conversation. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to be out there blasting everybody with that, because, I just, like, I have 6 chain. I have 1 chain, but I have 6 things attached to that chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the 6. And so what's funny is I took a look at these opportunities, Greg, and I wanted to build each of them to a 5-figure a month income. So I thought if we can build each of these to, $10,000 a month and more, then if one goes away, we're not hurting. So
okay,
the nut to crack. Let's just say Steve and I need $10,000 a month to cover all of our bills, our mortgage and insurance and all of that. And so when I look at the different streams of income, like I want send out cards to cover that. And then I want real estate sales to cover that. And then I want my coaching to cover that. And so, and EXP, because there's like options within EXP to generate some income. And if I can get that, dang, I added it up, and my number's the same as yours, 44. Hey,
44.
So when I went to a retreat and I did this chart, I'm holding up a chart and it has 4 quadrants, and in EXP I have 14,000 because I see the potential there. $14,000 a month, retreats 10,000, coaching 10,000, send out cards 10,000. That's $528,000 a year. I think I can do pretty good live a pretty nice lifestyle with that kind of income. So it's not doesn't happen overnight. We got to work.
You got to work really hard to get that to that kind of level. And it's, people when they hear numbers like this, they're like, well, Gail, you've been doing this a while. I'm a newbie in the business. There's no way I could achieve that. When I completely think that's complete BS, because your mindset is what I really am attracted to when it comes to this conversation, because there's not a not like there's the word I can't has never been uttered out of your mouth as long as I've known you. It's more like, okay, well, this is where I am, this is where I'm going. Let's figure out how and where I can be. So help me understand a little bit and walk the listeners through this a little bit. When it comes to the selection of your different verticals for your passive income, for your multiple streams of income, did you see the big picture right off the bat, or did you kind of like you got into, because if you guys don't know her, Gail's huge into send out cards. She got me signed up with send out cards. I thought it was a stupid thing until I realized the power of it. I told you this. And so she thought I was an asshole, and I thought her system was stupid. But now we're both BFFs. But it's an incredibly powerful system, and I'm not building it right, and Gail's going to slap me consistently for that. But Send Out Cards is a powerful program, and when you build it into both the EXP and you build it into the coaching and the training and everything else, they all work simultaneously, like hand into a glove. So, what was your first vertical? Was that Send Out Cards?
Well, I think the first vertical was actually real estate.
Okay.
Because we were. But here's the thing with real estate: if you don't perform, you don't get paid.
Right.
And so your last closing puts you out of business because
Mm-hmm.
you have to go out and continually work. And so Send Out Cards is the first passive that I saw as a way to build passive income. And so, my friend Steve Schultz would say, okay, imagine if selling homes, if you got paid every time the garage door goes up and down.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, especially those busy families that are, have 3 cars and they're coming and going all the time. That'd be great. But the reality is it doesn't happen that way. So looking at Send Out Cards was really the main thing. And I've been doing it since 2007. So,
Right.
I've gotten into good habits, and
Mm-hmm.
I've used Send Out Cards in such a way that it helps to bring everything else along. So see, that's why it became my chain. That's why it became the main focus, because everything, I want people to look at everything you do, because a lot of people keep adding things to their life.
Mm-hmm.
They add and add and add until they're overwhelmed, right?
Right.
You can add so much that it actually subtracts from, and I got that from Hank. Hank always say, subtraction is multiplication. And so when I look at Send Out Cards as my chain, it's like, okay, real estate. Yeah, it attaches to that because it becomes better when I use Send Out Cards.
Mm-hmm.
When I stay in touch with people, I'm top of mind and people remember us and they reach out to us. To me, like what you do, I love sitting and watching you beers and calls. It's like I would never do that. I might try the beer you're drinking, but I'm not going to call people that I don't know. It's just not who I am.
Oh, that hurts. My back hurts. And you're making me laugh, and the whole upper body hurts right now. But that's the one thing that, like, when you and I started talking, there's 2 different ways to build business. One through transactional, one through relational. And if you can blend those 2, that's a beautiful thing. But you're building through relationships. And through the Send Out Cards and through these other verticals, you really do. I mean, I will never forget the cards that you sent me because they blew me out of the water when I got the card. I'm like, what in the shit is that? They're like, how do you make this? This is so cool. And it was one of those impactful things. You always stayed top of mind for me there. And you saw the power of that very, very early on, and you've just compounded upon that so that you can show other people how to do the same thing.
And what's the one word that brings it all together?
Family, love, trust, go America.
Consistency.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where to go with this. Consistent and persistent. Absolutely.
And so I've done that. I've set my own sights to sending at least 3 cards every day. If you add up, I've sent over 29,000 cards over the last 11 years. Oh, let me look at my stats here.
29,000.
29,000 cards. That's approximately 5,000 days, right? So if you divide it out, it's 5.8 cards every single day for the last 11 and a half years.
You
And
monster.
now, granted, I'm going to hold this up. Those of you who are listening, just picture an invite to a client event. So this is the invite to our client event, our Pumpkin Fest, and I just sent out 145 of them, and then I ordered an additional 200, so 350 cards. So, that all adds up to to the 5.3 cards a day, personal cards. That's my goal. As I'm going through social media and I'm looking for opportunities to send, like you said, I can remember seeing that boat cockpit of that Mastercraft boat that you wanted.
Hey, Malibu.
Sorry, it was a Malibu. I was trying to think, what the frick is that really fun boat? But I remember it was blue like your shirt.
Yes.
Okay, so, and I thought, I'm going to pause in my day. I'm going to send that to Greg with a little dreams key or whatever I sent.
Dude, check it. I actually like that dream key so much that I actually got a chain, and I wear this around my neck at all times now, my dreams key.
Okay, everybody that's listening or watching this, what did you just not get about that?
Yeah.
Greg is wearing the key I gave him. What are you sending to people that's meaningful? Because, see, that card wasn't about anything about me. It was all about you and your dreams.
Yeah.
But I wanted to send that to you. And if we get in the habit of doing that every day for 2 or 3 people, oh, my gosh. You have no idea what opportunities in life are going to open up. Look, I'm sitting here on a podcast with one of my BFFs.
Exactly, and I took the time to go out and buy an additional chain. Yeah, granted it was like $10. That's not the point. But I went out and hunted down the time out of my day to go do this because I'm like, I like this so much. It's so powerful, so meaningful, so inspiring that I wanted to take action on it. So we have send out cards. So first we have real estate with what you're doing with EXP. Then you transfer it over into send out cards, and that has been incredibly powerful. You speak all over the place. I mean, you have a huge following on send out cards. You have your own group. What is that group where people can go learn how to do send out cards the right way? I'll do a shameless plug for you right now.
It's Realtors Business by Referral with send out cards.
Realtors Business by Referral. Send out cards.
And just join. It's a closed group, so you have to be accepted in.
By Gail.
Well, if you're from Dubai or if you're from the Philippines or you're from, there's and you're trying to sell shakes, I'm probably not going to, include you in the group because I don't think you're there for the right reason.
Right.
But if you're a real estate agent, and I can see that in your profile, how many of you are hiding yourself? Let's talk social media for a second. How many of you are out there flying your flag that you're a realtor, that you're in business? Underneath, I'm looking at your picture right now, Greg, and it says intro, I am a guy trying to help as many people as I can live the life of their dreams. Can you help me? And then under that, it's co-host, Real Estate Uncensored, real estate agent broker at eXp Realty, partner at McDaniel Callahan Real Estate Team, studied at, followed by 8,320 people. Oh, Greg.
You are too kind to me. But put in there kind of where my pedigree, you would say, right?
Right.
In that way, that's the way you guys will be able to get into this group, and you'll start learning from Gail. Trust me, I harass her continuously about, Gail, what's my link I can send out? She's like, go get a URL, Greg, and attach the freaking link to the URL. And then so we got one's like Free Card by Greg. So if you guys go to Free Card by Greg, you can go and you can send a card for free. Check it out. And if you like it, sign up. It's really cool. Actually, Gail, what I'm doing, where is this thing with send out cards, is since you're more relationship, I'm more transactional. I have 5 leads I got from my outbound calls this week, actually in 2 days from RedX. And I sent each one of these people a card like, hey, I tried to grab a screenshot of the front of their house or building or whatever and send it over to them like, hey, thanks for being nice to me on the phone. I look forward to working with you in the future. If there's anything I can do, please let me know, yada, yada. And so if you guys are more in the transactional mindsets at this moment, that's one of the things that I've used, and I have people calling me back on a consistent basis thanking me for my thank you card to them.
Yeah,
which,
who's the one lady that keeps your card by her chair and every
oh,
once in a while she'll talk to you?
yes. Oh, I forget her name. I know where she lives. She's over here on West Side Walnut Creek. She just picks up the phone. Hi, Greg.
Yeah.
Hi, Janet.
Oh yeah, I still got your card right here. I know how to find you. See? Custom branding on the back of the cards, when you can custom brand a card. I got this card in the mail today, and I know those of you who are listening can't see it, but I attended my first EXP retreat at the
Hmm.
Big Orenda with Hank, and there's a picture of Steve and I by the campfire, and there's just fun pictures on the inside, and then from my friend Linda, she was just celebrating the fact that we were there and the fun stuff we have. So look at all these cards, and you inspire me. People that are sending me cards to congratulate me on my new journey. And so my desk is full of cards, and what you send out comes back. And I want people to realize that, and this is mindset too. What you speak out comes
Hmm.
back.
Funny
Your
you
whole,
mentioned that.
okay, go ahead.
Funny you mentioned that. I was listening to a YouTube channel this morning, and I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, yeah, I'm not very full of shit. I'm pretty much honest all the time. I've been going through a negative time in my own life and the mental shit that's been going through my brain. And so, as you guys can see, well, you can't see if you're listening, but I have one, and I'm working on my second page here. I'm writing out all my I ams statements. I am powerful beyond my understandings. I'm amazingly wealthy. I'm incredible. I'm healthy. I'm successful. I wrote down, I am sexy. Hey, it's important, okay? That's an
Well,
important
you
part of life.
are. You
No,
are.
thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I wrote down all these I ams, and you're right. Where your mental mindset goes, your body and in your life will follow. And I think a lot of us, what we do is if we were a third party watching how we talk to ourselves, we would go kick our own ass. Because, like, dude, you can't talk to yourself. You can't talk to someone like that. That's not acceptable. But yet we do it on a consistent basis. That's why people don't have multiple streams of income. I'm convinced of it because they believe they couldn't do it. I have believed for a long time. I'll say one thing, but then I'll believe another way. And it has been such a detriment to my life. And another great saying is that what you put up with is what you get in life. And I'm like, I'm tired of putting up with this bullshit. I'm just done. I know I want something different in life, and so my mental mindset shifted. And so let's keep going down the path about your multiple streams of income, because I'm curious on how they all link up together. And then ultimately, what I want you to do is I want to talk about lanes. I want you to explain that to everybody. So if you wouldn't mind, keep going a little bit in regards to your different chains, your chain
Okay,
links.
so coaching, last year when we met, it was at a coach's retreat.
Yes, it was.
And I went to learn how to be a better leader for my send out cards team, right? I didn't really want to coach real estate agents. I didn't want to coach people per se, but I wanted to be a better leader. And I learned a lot at that retreat about leadership and the skills that it takes. So over the course of what I did was we all know Hank Avink. He runs 36 to Life, and he had that class, and I went back to my the Realtors Business by Referral with Send Out Cards group, and I said, hey, I'm going to co-coach this class with my buddy Hank. And I sold out 2 classes right away, 72 people. And I go, oh, well, then we did the class, and people were like, but we wanted more Gail. We wanted less Hank. We wanted more Gail. We wanted more send out cards.
Right.
And so, I coach with Hank. He's my personal coach, and he's whipped my butt many times over the last couple months, especially. But here's what I'll tell you. He said, okay, Gail, people want you, so create a course. I create a course? Oh, my God. So I did, and it's called Referrals for a Living. And so I coach a 4-week online course. I get paid for it. Imagine that.
Imagine that you get paid by teaching other people how to be successful in their lives by
Yes,
the path you've already walked. Funny how that works.
I love that. So so coaching is it's one of my verticals. It's one of my lanes, and I'm getting ready. So do you know what Kajabi is?
Of course I do. Online program where you can build courses and sell them and everything else.
Kajabi. I went to 3 retreats, 3 weeks in a row, and I learned about Kajabi. And I go, okay, because that's where I run. I run all my coaching classes through Hank's Kajabi, which is fine. But I'm thinking, okay, I should have my own Kajabi because I need to start, coaching, send out cards. I need to start, putting out information. I wanted to get information and put it all in one place, whether it's EXP, send out cards, running retreats, coaching. So I wanted to create this. Oh man, talk about experimentation. I've been into experimentation with that the last few days, but you know what? I created a beta membership in Kajabi, and I'm going to launch that soon. And it's going to be for everybody, and I'm going to limit it because I can't coach a ton of people. So, 44 people will get it for $44. Don't you love it? And then I'll open it up to, I'll probably, after 44 people, it'll be $88. You know what, Greg? I had down here on my list for coaching that I wanted to make $10,000 a month. When I launch this membership and I pour into people, and 44 people at $44 is just shy of $2,000 a month. The next 100 people at $88 takes it up to $10,760 a month that I can now pour into these people. And what I want to do with this revenue is not keep it all to myself, but I want to, like what Hank's talking about doing, is be able to gift coaching opportunities to people in my group. Because I know there's a lot of people in my group that want to be more purposeful and they want to learn more things and they would benefit from coaching. I've benefited from investing in myself and getting coaching over this last year. So if I create this course, then I can help people and I can give back and help people, give them a hand up and help them succeed. So I'm really excited about, that I was able to create that, and you have this look on your face, like, are the wheels turning or are you just
no. No, I know I'm 100% thinking about what's going through my head right now as I'm writing things down here. Is that the reason why you are so successful and why you're going to be catapulted into another stratosphere of success is because of something you just said, and it's the opposite of the traditional mindset. The traditional mindset is me, my, go away. This is I earned it. I'm going to keep it. But you do it in the reverse. You're like, let me give this back to people. Let me pay it forward. Let me. Success leaves breadcrumbs is a very popular saying. And it's true. And you are now dropping the breadcrumbs for the people that are going to follow in your footsteps. And for people to be at your level now and where you're going to be in the future, I think it's important for them to understand that one simple idea that they have to leave breadcrumbs. You have to lean back and grab the person behind you, grab them by the arm, and yank them up. They have got to be a success because then you become a success, even more so.
So here's how that attaches to my chain. Because, see, when I coach people, I'm going to coach them send out cards. Because It's all about building relationships. And we can all do a better job of building relationships, identifying the people in our life that need to hear from us. And so when I looked at coaching, I go, okay, that can attach to my chain. And my referrals for a living class, here's the prerequisites. You have to have Facebook and you have to have a send out cards account, because I'm going to teach you how to use your send out cards account so that you can build better relationships. When you have better relationships, you have better business.
It's really true. My father, he's been in the business for 46 years in real estate. And, the one thing that he's done tremendously well is he's built solid foundational relationships. Now, of course, how did he start? Door knocking, calls, networking. He had to do something, right? But then he got into it, and what he does, Gail, is he goes out every holiday season, and he gets a kick out of it. I find it fucking horrible. But he goes out and delivers See's candy. Drops people See's candy off. I talked to this woman a while ago on the phone, elderly woman, very nice. She's like, McDaniel, one of you would come by and always drop off See's candy. And I'm like, that's my dad, Terry. Terry, that was his name. He was always so nice to me. and she went on this huge tirade about how great it was by getting the See's candy. People will call and look for their See's candy, like, hi, did I fall off the list? Where's my box of See's candy? Takers, those damn people. But God, but building that relationship with them, they expected us to come by and say hi, how's life, what's new, an opportunity to grow from there. Now we can grow send out cards on on that vertical as well, but your mindset is what I really love. It's really a cool thing about how to give first, receive later. Yeah, that's just my point. Anyways, keep going. So we're on.
So retreats, and like retreats is one that I found that could. Boy, you hang around with high-minded people, and if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So I have not been the smartest person in the room in a lot of rooms lately, and it's really helped to elevate me to where I'm like my mindset is now. So I'm looking at retreats, and with the retreat model, you invite people in to learn. And so I'm hosting my first retreat with Ann at the Big Arenda, November 8th through the 10th, and it's going to be all about it's going to be whatever people want it to be, really. It's send out cards minded, but with send out cards, there's people in my group. There's my friend Melinda, she started International Women in Motorsports Association. I'm like, why didn't anybody ever figure that out? Do you know how many motorsports there are and how many women are in motorsports? Well, she has the International Women in Motorsports, and she's building this global phenomenon, and she's wanting to learn how to coach people on how to go out and talk to sponsors, to go out and get referral business partners with them. And so she's putting together a class. And so when we come together at a retreat, you have 2.5 days to kind of. The first day, it's the possibilities, exploring the possibilities. What are you here for? What do you want to know? How can I help you get there? The second day is leaning into those and creating the reality around what's possible. Mm-hmm. And then, the day, Saturday morning, let's get all your questions answered before you go home. And, when you break bread together with people, it takes you to the next level in that relationship, and it bonds you together. So I'm excited to host my first retreat at the Arenda. You'll have 12 to 18 people that come in for 2.5 days. Again, it attaches to my send out cards chain because of what I can teach and what I can provide, the coaching, the help, the understanding, my knowledge. You Inc. It's a really great book. It was written by Travis Rozier, the co-founder of Kajabi, and he talks about the knowledge. Like, what do people do on Kajabi? A guy joined Kajabi and he taught handstands and made $750,000.
You're shitting me.
Handstands.
Handstands?
Handstands, because people bought into his course and wanted to learn.
I'm in the wrong business.
So think about it. We all are knowledgeable about something that, I'm knowledgeable about send out cards. I've put in my, I was told back, Cody Bateman, we had dinner with him back in 2015, and he said, Gail, if you put in 10,000 seed hours in anything, you can become the expert at it. I got to calculating how many cards I'd sent and how much hours I'd learned. Greg, I think I have well over 20,000 seed hours in send out cards. So what does that make me? It makes me an expert. I can teach people. I can bring them along. I can cut the learning curve and help them to understand that. So knowledge. What are you knowledge about? Is it horses? Is it motorsports? What is it?
It could be crochet. It could be birds. It can be raising children.
Let's talk to the realtors or the people that are listening to this. You have something that you're passionate about. Maybe it's animals, pets. Maybe it's fostering children. What are you passionate about? I'm not talking to you.
I vigorously shake my head like, no.
But I want you to think about what you're passionate about, because chances are, if you poured into other people with your passion and you gave them knowledge around that, you could probably make some money doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like, how many network marketing companies are out there? I mean, Send Out Cards is a network marketing company, and I make a decent income with Send Out Cards. But you know what? I cracked the code. I did the math around it, and I know how to make $1 million a year and Send Out Cards. So it's only a matter of time. And you know how easy it is? 6,000 people. And I'm gonna say, okay, I've proclaimed that 10% of all realtors in the United States are somewhere on my Send Out Cards team.
Mm-hmm. I speak.
100,000, right?
That's a lot of people.
Okay, but not personally sponsored by me. That
Oh,
they
total.
end up with somewhere on my team. If that happened, you'll find me in Bali. You'll find me. I'll be doing my podcast from some magical island beach somewhere. Here's the thing. 6,000 people using cards at the level I'm using it, which is $147 a month. If I have 6,000 people doing that, Greg, I'm making $1 million a year. So it's only a matter of time before I have that amount of people on my team that are producing that kind of volume that, and I can't wait to give back. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because I feel like I have a lot of information that I can share with people that'll give them a hand up and help them see life and with, maybe some cool shades.
No, I completely agree with you. Melanie is saying that she needs you as her coach. So, Melanie, I would highly reach out, DM her. Means direct message her, and you guys can communicate, or just go to her group, and you guys can connect with her there and really talk about her coaching. So, for the way that you're talking is that it's not rocket science to sit down and figure this out. It's literally just sitting down and figuring out what your goals are, where you want to be, what you want to do on a daily basis. Write out what your most perfect day is, and that's kind of cheesy and everything else. There is a book which I just started listening to. I'll get it here super quick. There's two books. One is called The Answer.
Steve just listened to that. He was like, "Oh my gosh, this is an amazing book."
It's an amazing book. The Answer. You listen to about chapter 8, and that will kind of get all through the physiology of how your brain works. John Assaraf, actually, Gail, we're actually getting John on our show, which is
awesome.
really, really, really cool. But the other one that if you really kind of want to start, to understand like what you want your brand to be about, I want you guys to go to this book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. This book is like crack for your brain. It is absolutely phenomenally done. I was able to go meet up. I had a private luncheon with Dave Ramsey this week in San Francisco, and Dave and his team were actually featured in this book. And then the last book I would recommend is Tribes by Seth Godin. The reason why I recommend these books so you guys, because some of you guys listening right now or watching this right now are probably like, the fuck are you two talking about, like chains and streams of income? I don't even know where I can get my next paycheck. And that's cool, man. That's totally cool. We get it, right? But Gail and I didn't come to where we are just by willy-nilly. Do we put time into really understanding how we work physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what makes us each tick in the right way? So the answer is really going to kind of help you understand how your brain and positive thoughts actually really impact you on a physical level. It's not woo-woo crystals and smoke in the air. It's real shit. Building a story brand, that will understand how you want to be heard by your general public. Right? Like what brand are you going to represent so people are going to want to come to you? And then Seth Godin's book, Tribes, is going to you'll understand what tribe you belong to and what tribe and how those all interact together. Because Gail, you know your tribes. You know your story brand. You know how this works. That's why you do it so much, right?
Yeah. So let's talk about branding for a second. What are you doing to brand yourself in your business? Steve and I sat down with Hammy Miller 4 years ago. We had lunch. We met on Facebook. She joined Send Out Cards. I drove over and had lunch with her over in. And she told me that, for the past 8 years, they've donated a bike to Toys for Tots for every home they sold. I'm like, dang, that's awesome. I came home and told Steve, and guess what? we started doing that. And so the first year was 32 bikes, then it was 72 bikes, and then last year was 80 bikes. I don't know what it's going to be this year, but we brand that. And so, hang on. And those of you listening won't, but see, people send you stuff. I got bike earrings. People send me bikes. I don't even have pierced ears, but I got bike earrings.
Oh, that is funny.
So when people identify with you, we have pictures out in our office of bikes. When people see bicycles, they think of us. When they think of us, they think of real estate, and they think of the transactions and the homes that we sell. So find something like that and give back. We just simply give back, and it's become a part of our brand.
Yeah, that's really one of the most important things. We have Mike's Bikes out here. And Mike's Bikes is something you just triggered something in my mind, because what they do is you can grab a bike, it working or non-working, give it to Mike's Bikes. They will get it into optimal working condition. Then they ship it over to Africa, where they give it to women and children so they get to work and get to school at no cost. You can donate in your clients' names. So just something very, your organization, Mike's Bikes for mine, just giving back, becoming a vertical, a pinnacle in your community that people look back and they're like, I want to be around that person because of what they actually stand for. It's actually a stat that people that when you're philanthropic, if you have the same philanthropic mindset and ideals, people will work with you on average another 14% just because you have the same values in life. Okay, so we have real estate, we have social, we have send out cards, we have coaching, we have retreats. What is our next one? Because I want to get
EXP. So we ran our own brokerage for 6 years. Network Team Homes Realty. I'm the broker. We had 4 other agents. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There were 7 of us, and we have dreams and goals. Mm-hmm. And 2 years from now, we want to buy a motorhome. So we've made investments right now that come to fruition in 2 years, and we're buying our motorhome. It's not even like we're looking at Steve's looking at them. So that's what we're doing. And so we got to thinking about this. If we keep our company, then in 2 years we're going to have to hire a managing broker to run our company. Okay, well, we could do that, but it's going to cost money, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Or, I've watched Hank over the last year and a half. I've been watching EXP, and it's only getting better. And so Steve and I researched, and it was in conversations that I was having with people in my send out cards business. I'm saying, hey, by the way, you're going to have to do this because you have the company name of your real estate company, and you don't want checks coming in that name. Well, oh yeah, my company gets enough money. And I'm like, well, have you ever looked at EXP? And I wasn't even EXP. And I thought, what if I was EXP and I could have those conversations about what it could do? So, there's the equity awards with EXP, mm-hmm. There's the Icon Agent Awards, and
passive income,
the Agent Equity Program. So there's different ways to earn income, or the stocks, or different things within EXP that were like, okay, look at us. We don't have retirement set aside. We never did invest. This is just like another bucket. This is another way for us to compartmentalize and save that over there, which we weren't doing before. So EXP has become attached to the chain, because I'm already teaching realtors how to use send out cards in their business to mm-hmm. grow their business. I have relationships with realtors. I'd say 90% of our SOC business are realtors. So there would be maybe opportunities to talk to some of those about what Steve and I are doing and why we did it. So that's just add it to the chain. And, the whole idea of a chain is if something grabs onto the chain and it comes along and it doesn't pull you back, then it's probably going to work. So, ask me in a year, Greg. I don't know. I've been with EXP for 3 weeks. I don't really know. But here's what I do know. We listed homes. We put homes under contract. We have our first closing coming up. I think today.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Our first closing today. So we're still learning what that all looks like and how it works. But the fact of the matter is, you can do business wherever you're at, and if you have the love and support and the community, the tribe. If you're surrounded with a good tribe, then it's only going to make it better.
Yeah, it 100% is, and that's the great part about it. That's why people ask me why I switched over to EXP. It's because it's the mindset, the way that people think in the leadership, the way that people think in the staffing over there. It's the camaraderie of everyone wanting to help each other, and it's not fake and contrived like it usually is in most brokerages. Like, oh, well, hi Stacy, hi Steve. I hate Stacy, I hate Steve. It's not like that.
I was on a call the other day, and I didn't remember that I had EXP World pulled up, and so I'm on this call, and I was muted, so I wasn't like vocal, and I'm like, I hear this, hi Gail. I'm like, Steve, who said hi? Somebody at my front door? I didn't know. I didn't know until I shrunk down all the windows. Oh, I was in EXP World, and people were saying hi to me.
It is cool. You go up there and just people talk to you. They'll walk up, hey Greg, hey Gail. And you're like, hey man, what's up? And it's just a fun, friendly environment. Tons of training and just multiple different streams of income. The stocks, passive income, and then you can get to your 100% very, very quickly with everything. So we have EXP, we have real estate. So EXP is on top. That's the passive income, and the stocks is what you're looking at as your vertical there. Is that correct?
Yes, because we're gonna do real estate no matter where we're at.
Right.
So real estate is really helping buyers and sellers is that one stream. And then the passive side of what EXP offers is the next stream. And what I also looked at when I'm making out my quadrant is, could I do these from anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can send out cards from anywhere. As long as I have an internet connection. I can do coaching from anywhere. I can host retreats. I can bring my retreat model to your city and host a retreat for 2.5 days. So I can do EXP. I can do from anywhere. So those 4 things right there, I'm totally mobile with. And that was important to me because I don't like to be stuck in an office for 40 hours a week.
No, that ain't happening. I am not doing that. I have been locked down for too long geographically. I won't do it anymore. I just can't do it, and it drives me nuts. And
it doesn't mean we're not working. Like I see you sitting at your table. We're freaking working all the time. But that's what makes us successful. We're willing to do what others aren't willing to do, to have what others don't have.
Exactly. And I will achieve that. 100% I will achieve that. Okay, so we have real estate, EXP, send out cards, coaching, retreats. Am I missing one? Or is that our 5?
Investments. The passive, our financial advisor takes care of our money for us and makes it grow.
Hey, you like those people, right? I like money.
But here's what I'll tell you. This is why it's important to have your P&L in order, to know where you're at, and to focus on your finances. Because up until last year, Greg, we didn't save money. We spent everything that we had. And last year, we got our shit together, and we were able to save. Well, so we put $12,000 a year away. Mm-hmm. But then at the end of the year, we had $50,000 that were sitting there that we were able to invest. So from saving nothing to saving $62,000 this year, we've invested $112,000 in our investments because we had it there to and it's hard for me because I like seeing all that money in my accounts. Take out that large sum and but guess what? I'm not spending it because that's going to be my motorhome in 2 years.
Right.
That investment's going to pay dividends. And so I think it's important to get with somebody who's financially solvent, someone that can guide you and that's going to look out for your best interest, because I am not one to investigate stocks and all that kind of stuff. I'm one that says, here, take my money. I trust you and make it grow for me.
Gail, I will give you their routing number to my account, and we shall proceed with our business venture.
Oh, you're so funny.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're coming up here hard on our time together. I'm having multiple requests for your information. So Gail, people are going to reach out to you. They're gonna get into your tribe, into your world. What's the best way for business referrals, EXP, coaching, training, retreats, and send out cards? How can people reach you?
The best way to do it is to send me a private message on Facebook. I keep my profile public because I'm about at my friend's limit, kind of like you. I think you had to make room for me. And you
I
did.
I did. Yeah, last year at the retreat, I went through and I'm like, okay, who am I going to kick off? Who am I going to kick off? Who am I
Follow
going to kick off?
me. Hey, I want to beat your number. I want to surpass 8,320.
Hey, and I think you will, and you deserve it. Absolutely deserve it, guys. Follow her, messenger, get in touch with her. The reason why she and I really are, we joke around with the BFF thing, but we really are truly, really good friends. And the reason why is because our minds are alike. If you like what she's putting out there, and if you don't, fuck off, because she's awesome. But I mean, she is the legit real deal. And I want you guys to get in her world. I want you guys to get indoctrinated with the way she thinks, the way she moves, the way she gives. I mean, you were at a distillery with friends, and I hit you up. I'm like, hey, Gail, I lost my link. Can you help me? And you're like, I'm at a distillery, Greg. I'm like, oh, okay, she's not going to do it. Within like a minute or two, boom, there's my link. I'm like, how cool is that? She took
You know
the time to do
why?
it.
It's because you and I are in relationship, and that's the key. Be relational with people. I don't want you just to like reach out to me because I'm Gayle Zientek. I want you to like, if we can be in a relationship and we have the same vibe, maybe we can be in the same tribe. That kind of rhymes. But I'm not looking for transactional business. I'm really looking to get into relationship with the people that are like me, that are drawn to who I am and what I do. And I would love to help you.
And it's totally true. I'm reading a message from Shauna down here. She's like, that's awesome. Fuck off if you don't like Gail. I got a kick out of that. Ow. Every part of me hurts. Okay, guys. Please share this, like this. If this has been something of value to you, please make sure you get someone that should hear this, someone that needs to hear how giving Gail is and kind of the way her mind works and how she's building this stuff, how she's being proactive, not reactive in life. When she went out, she's building something in Kajabi. You've actually inspired me to get a strong look at Kajabi myself, because I have a ton, and some of the notes I was taking here is I have a ton of stuff up here that if I just took some time, an hour a night, and started tinkering with Kajabi, where would I be in a year? 365 days, 280 working days. Where would I be in 1 year? The time's going to pass anyways. Do you need to have the cocktails at night, or can you have less cocktails at night and put more work in for your future self, like your RV, hashtag RV life? And I think that that's something that's really important. So be proactive, not reactive, guys. Check her out. If you guys are interested in kind of what we've been talking about here, and if you want to work with Gail on EXP, please contact her. If you guys kind of like what we're putting out, Matt and I have been putting out for almost 4 years, go to bookmcdaniel.com. Again, let's go to bookmcdaniel.com, and you guys can go and book 30 minutes with me. Let's talk about EXP. Let's talk about these different advantages. Let's talk about what you're going to be able to get when you join us, and go from there. So, Gail, one more time, how can we get people are just going to message you, right?
Yes, Gayle Zientek on Facebook. GaylZientek. Because I say guest one. Who the hell is guest one?
I don't know. That's for the VIP guests. Is just guest one. You're in WITSEC. We don't know your location nor your identity. That's where you're guest one. Anyways, you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Thank you for listening to us on iTunes and Stitcher. If guys, please go there and give us a 5-star review. Don't be a chump and give us a 4. Give us a 5-star review. Tell us, shout out Gail if you liked her episode, and help us reach more people, and that will be through iTunes. If you're watching us on YouTube, please give us a review and a mention there as well. Gail, you are a beautiful, incredible human being in every single possible way. Thank you for allowing us to take some of your valuable time today and just giving us the knowledge bombs that you always drop with us. So you are loved, you are appreciated, and yeah. You know what, guys?
I love you.
Hashtag
BFF.
You know it, girlfriend. Hashtag BFF. And until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.